Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. First of all, Manny Pacquiao has supposedly left the PBC with Al Haymon, and he is in talks with Eddie Hearn and Dazn to make a possible super fight with Mikey the Badger Garcia. You know, a lot of people would ask, why is Manny now deciding to leave PBC? And that's just obvious. The obvious is that Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight Floyd again. Floyd bamboozled, tricked Manny into this fight that was never going to happen. See, Floyd knew, well, hey, let me help my quote-unquote boxing financial dad out, right? Let me help Al Haymon out by getting Manny Pacquiao in. Then, because we can get our numbers up if we had someone like Pacquiao that's still active, that's still, holding his own in the game. Let's get him over to the PBC side and have him fighting these young cats. And what I'll do, I'll sit back and I'll watch and I'll wait and I will contemplate, or I will entertain a fight with Manny Pacquiao while he takes on these young guns. And I think what it was, I think the game plan for Manny was to bring Manny from Bob Arum. So as another fighter that left Bob Arum to go to Al Haymon, which is not uncommon. It's just a natural, migration of how people do things. And watch this guy, this older Pacquiao that is still holding his own. He's proved that, in fights like the Jesse Vargas fight, which was a long time ago now. That was almost 3 years ago. So in Floyd's eyes, he was like, yeah, okay, I'll entertain it. I'll make this guy think as long as he signs. When he signs, we can get him to fight whoever he wants. But in the meantime, these young guys are going to pick him apart. I think that was the game plan of Floyd and Al Haymon. I don't know necessarily about Al Haymon, but I know if Floyd is involved, he wanted to see Manny Pacquiao take a beating. I think that's what this was all about. He wanted to take a beating without actually doing the beating. He wants to be that guy that pulls the strings instead of the guy that has strings attached. Okay? And Manny didn't fold to any of those guys. In fact, he ain't lost a fight since. Matisse, Broner, Thurman. He took out all of these PBC guys, and these guys supposed to have been the ones that supposed to took him out, and it got from less to greater, right? So, I think Floyd at this point, he knows, well, hey, I'm not going to fight him because when he start winning, the winner's supposed to fall. See, here's the thing. If Adrian Broner would have beat Manny Pacquiao, what type of fight do you think, or what do you think would have happened to Adrian Broner's career versus where it's at now? But then another question you ask yourself, what would Floyd be? I guarantee you Floyd would have said, well, I would have fought Manny Pacquiao, but he lost to my little brother, Adrian Broner, so there's no reason for me to fight him. I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I said before, that's Manny Pacquiao. That's Floyd Mayweather. But Manny Pacquiao did the opposite. He not only did he beat these guys, he beat them well. He beat them convincingly. So it was like, okay, well, wow, what are we really going to do with this guy? Okay, let's put him in with another hard touch. No. Manny Pacquiao was like, well, I know my worth. I'm not going to fight these guys like that because I remember what my true intention was. And that was to fight Floyd, someone my age, around my size, in my era. Not young guys like Errol Spence Jr. that couldn't get a fight for a few years on the fights that he really wanted. You know what I mean? Some hungry guy like that, which he threw another guy in with, or the idea, he threw up the idea of Errol Spence fighting Thurman. That was all about Floyd. So yes, Manny Pacquiao has left or is thinking about leaving PBC, and he should, because of those reasons. They didn't deliver something that was promised to him. Why not leave? Mikey Garcia is back on the up and up. He beat Jesse Vargas in good fashion. He showed that he is the guy to be reckoned with. Okay? Now, Saudi Arabia is going to bring the money. Eddie Hearn knows that's the engine for this whole thing to go across. Why not fight in Saudi Arabia? It's already proved to have millions of dollars there. Ask Andy Ruiz, the former champion, and ask the current champion, Anthony Joshua. The money's there. Ask Tyson Fury. He was there. He got $15 million for an act on wrestling, right? So the money's there. So if DAZN is pushing this out, and then they know they don't have to fork over, they know they have another vested partner in this situation, yeah, that fight can happen. And it'll be a super fight because Mikey Garcia has a whole country behind him, and so does Manny Pacquiao. And you guys know that to be a fact. So yes, if he's going with Eddie Hearn, and we know Eddie Hearn, and Mikey Garcia on good standing after Mikey Garcia beat Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas falls to the wayside, but Mikey Garcia and Eddie Hearn are still like this. I seen that in that press conference. Well, me and Mikey we're going out on a date. And hopefully I'll get a kiss later. You know what I mean? Sweet tongue Eddie. And I think Mikey liked that. He knows. And then but one thing we don't see, or we haven't seen as of yet, is money issues with Eddie. So anybody can say what you want to. You can be half racist. You can be, whatever. I don't like him, but he always delivers the cash. Okay? And I think some professionals are exactly that. Professionals. But anyway, I like the idea. Manny Pacquiao, and here's the thing. They're going to have to pay Manny Pacquiao. Because what Floyd, Manny did, about 500,000 pay-per-view buys. If they done that, I feel that they're going to have to, DAZN is going to have to give a guarantee big enough for any so they won't have to worry about that back-end pay-per-view money. Okay? If you're accustomed to a guy that makes tips for a living, and he makes $200 or $300 a night, sometimes 4 or 5, you better give him a salary that'll make him forget about that. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to offer Manny $15 to $20 million to fight on DAZN, and probably Mikey Garcia $5 to $10 million. You know what I mean? I think that's how that's going to look. Those are those old Bob Arum contracts anyway. He made about 20, 23, 25 million. I think when he got knocked out by Marquez, I think he made 23 million, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but the money's there though. I don't think they will have even a problem with the money. So getting that other stuff kinked out and all those other kinks worked out, or what should I say? I think that's what the big issue would be. It being in Saudi Arabia, Manny Pacquiao being a Christian, those type of things. Jinky, because Jinky shows up at all those fights. Her and her, and her cute sister that looks just like her. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be one of those things. Those are going to be the questions that of concern. But money, I believe the money will be one of the easiest things to get done. And again, Mikey Garcia's back. Manny Pacquiao hasn't lost since the robbery or the close decision to Jeff Hearn, right? So we're looking at this like, well, okay, now you decided to leave Al Heyman in the PBC. You can, now you're talking to DAZN. That's exactly what each and every fighter should do in their career. I don't understand these fighters, though, just for a second, that stay with a network or promotional outfit and just think that they need to stay there for the sake of loyalty, and it doesn't even benefit themselves. I never really understood that. But anyway, that's just me. Manny Pacquiao is not like that. He remembers. He's a smart businessman. He's not stupid. Neither is Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia did it, but Mikey did it younger. That's the blessing of it. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, possibly fighting on DAZN in Saudi Arabia. Leave your comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.